good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Driven Dave. We've got a really exciting car today. Although, you may not think of exciting when you think of a Honda Clarity, but to me, I think this is a really neat car. I'm into the more kind of unique, oddball cars, if you will. And this one has a pretty interesting story. The Honda Clarity originally came out as like the Clarity FCX, I believe. And it was designed as a fuel cell vehicle. Originally, the fuel cell Clarity was only available in Southern California, at least in the United States. It was also available in Japan. And in Southern California, it was only available at 12 dealerships, and I think only 5 of which were in LA. So it's pretty interesting. You could only lease that car. So I'm wondering like what happened to all of them. And the whole thing with like the hydrogen fuel cell cars is that you have to be near a hydrogen fuel cell refueling station, which is really hard to say, by the way. But eventually, the Clarity did kind of change a little bit, and they offered a couple of other varieties. They came out with the all-electric version, which I believe had a range of about 89 miles. And then they also introduced a regular hybrid and the plug-in hybrid. And to me, this is the sweet spot. This is where you want to be with this car, the plug-in hybrid. A lot of people don't really understand what it means when you have a plug-in hybrid. And you can see the nice chrome badge here denoting that it is the plug-in hybrid version. Friends of mine, and I've explained it to them before, and they just don't get it. They're like, so on your road trip, how many times did you have to plug in? And it's like, I didn't have to plug in at all because that battery is not that big. It's not going to get you that far. It's just a regular hybrid vehicle. It's a gas electric hybrid. And once you do plug it in, you do get that all EV situation, which is great. And if you live close enough to work, that can really be a game changer for you. Like during the pandemic in my Kia, I was able to average, 250 miles per gallon, something like that, just because I was doing short trips and I was plugging in all the time. And so my friend here, now some say he's the greatest conductor on the planet. And this is his car, and he drives it, to and from work. And he said under the right conditions, he doesn't use any gas when he can plug it in. And that's really cool. I have experienced that life, and that life is a good one. But in any case, let's talk some basic specs and everything. This car under the power barn here, we've got a 1.5 liter inline 4 with sequential multi-port injection, which is a 16 valve dual overhead cam with VTEC, baby. That's what you're looking for. It puts out 212 horsepower at 5,500 RPM. That's the max horsepower. Surprisingly, only 99 pound-feet of torque at 5,000 RPM. Usually these hybrid electrics have a lot of torque. And so that was kind of surprising to me. The transmission is a CVT with overdrive, and that overdrive gives you a final drive ratio of 3.42. Surprisingly, not the long legs I thought it would have, but it does turn out really good gas mileage. Another interesting fact, this baby only has a 7-gallon fuel tank, but gives you a combined range of 340 miles, and 47 miles is electric. I believe this has a 6.6 kilowatt hour battery, which is a pretty small battery. So, that tells me they're getting, it's really efficient with that juice. I think my Kia Optima had a bigger battery and didn't go, it went about half as far. So that's pretty impressive. This rig has a 15.5 cubic foot trunk, which gives you quite a bit of storage space. It's got 18 by 8 wheels all the way around. And it's funny, it's a pretty big car. So even though the 18s, they don't look big, but those are pretty big tires, man. 4,059 pounds is the curb weight. And I believe that's all the boring details I have for you. But kind of a fun walk around here. You can see plenty of room for a family, decent amount of trunk space, and really nice styling. It is kind of big and it looks kind of tall, but what's nice about that is you get a lot of space on the inside, pretty comfy legroom. So we're gonna hop in and take a little spin and see what we think. All right, so this is awesome. stroller car seat keys. And my buddy tells me that this car sings, and let's see what she does. Is she singing?
Okay, maybe not yet, but if you shut the door and turn and roll the window down.
Okay.
And then just drive a little bit.
Okay, let's see what happens.
Just listen.
Now this is neat. It has a little, there we go. A really neat kind of push button situation there.
Here.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
You hear it more in a garage where it's like the reverb is fast, the reflection's faster. You don't have as much space to deal with, but I don't know, there's some kind of chord, major chord maybe.
Yeah, that's neat. Well, initial impressions, lots of legroom and lots of headroom. When I was originally looking for a plug-in hybrid, I considered this car, but then I stopped considering it, and the reason for me was I wanted the fully spec'd one with all the options, and the base price was just too high on that. I think it was like $37,000 or something, and so it just discouraged me. But then I kept running into people that were saying like, well, I got mine for whatever, like the same or less than what I paid for my car, and I was like, man, maybe I missed out. And I'm thinking I missed out. This is a nice car. It's got, like, it definitely has a good amount of presence on the road. Like, you don't feel like you're in a teeny tiny car. It feels like a real car with a substantial amount of weight, but it's still light on its feet. Steering is nice and smooth. I noticed we have these flappy paddles, Benet. Are these?
Oh, I use them all the time.
Yeah. Is this for? You can actually shift your gears if you want?
It's not shifting necessarily, it's more about fuel efficiency. And then it also saves your brakes. So if you're going, you'll see it if we're going fast and you want to slow down faster. If you tap that thing 4 times on the left, it'll downshift and you can just, the car like slows down very quickly.
Oh, wow.
And then it also triggers the charge that every time it's like it's using the momentum or whatever to charge, to like recharge the battery. It just sort of makes that more like the effect stronger. You'll see it go down. Like if we go fast there's
it's perfect timing.
But if we're moving at a pretty good clip, and then all of a sudden you pop that, you'll definitely feel the car slow down without using the brakes at all.
And so you have to do it 4 times.
Well, that's the max it'll go.
Oh,
you see the arrows fly.
I'm gonna just do it once. Oh, look at that.
You feel it?
Oh, check that out. Yeah.
It's supposed to save your brakes a lot.
Oh, that's cool. So that's kind of like a manual, like regen.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Now, what about like the brake pedal? If you just give it a little bit of brake, is that regen or is that just?
Absolutely. Yeah, you see it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Do you mind filming for a minute?
No, I do not.
Since the county mounties are right here. Oh, I like that regen paddle, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Kia didn't have any regen paddles. It was more about like regen braking. So I would just kind of have to like ride the brakes a little bit, which like it didn't engage the brakes. It was just like the regen, and that was cool.
It can be a fun tool to use sort of in traffic. If like, if you have a long time to brake, you can just use that and or if things start moving again, you can push it on the right.
Yeah.
And it'll, kind of go back to where you were.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun tool. A little more like active driving.
Right. Yeah, the thing that always kind of like trips me up is like every automaker has their own kind of like layout, and I just haven't driven enough Hondas. Like, because I don't quite understand like all of their buttons. Because I've never owned a Honda, oddly enough. I've owned, I think 25 cars, and never a Honda.
Never a Honda.
Yeah, I'm overdue for one for sure. So it looks like this has like lane keep assist, is that correct?
Oh yeah.
And does it just kind of ping pong you between that? Yeah,
you'll feel it'll take over a little bit, and but it's not I wouldn't say it's intrusive. It's it's cooperative.
Yeah. So it doesn't make like nagging sounds or whatever. It
No,
just kind
the
of...
fun thing is if you turn your right blinker on, you'll see the screen show you your right side blind spot.
Oh, that's right.
On the right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And the other cool thing, you're not using Google Maps right now, but if you do that and it shows you the blind spot here, you can also push the button on the end of it, and it'll switch back to your Google Map.
Oh,
just in case like you have to make a quick turn or you're curious about the map. Also, this is all touchscreen.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun interactive thing with Apple Play and everything. Charger. You want to put your phone in?
And I see you've got the economy, sport, and the HV.
Yeah. I try to use the hybrid thing the whole time.
Always enabled.
That's fine.
Great. Okay, now
okay.
We're back now. Would you like to turn on Honda? We've there. We'll hit the back button. Perfect. Cool. We'll just go to CarPlay. There we go. So we'll open that up. It gives a nice little map location. That's cool. And I see we've got some auto climate control. We've got dual zone. That's neat. Brake hold. That's a nice
I never
feature.
used that. What does that do?
Oh, it's the best. When you're at a stoplight, you just put that on and it's going to hold your brakes.
Oh.
And then you don't have to like keep your foot on the brake.
Really?
Yeah.
And do you have to push it again when you get moving, or?
No, all you do is you
just start?
You hit the gas,
Okay.
and it starts going.
Wow. Okay. Thank you.
That's the best. That's the best thing. Like, I won't buy a car that doesn't have that now.
I will say though, something about this touch screen. My wife has the Mazda CX-5 where you have a dial in your sort of console here that moves the screen around, and I almost like that better because it's easier to keep your eyes. I feel like dual on the road than actually having to look at this thing and touch it. So sometimes, I don't know, it's really cool, but I feel like it is definitely less safe than using the dial.
And I've noticed this one, like, you really kind of have to mean it. Like, it's not just like a light tap. It's kind of like you're
you have to be accurate.
Yeah. Man, I can't believe how quiet this car is.
That's the thing. It's pretty loud though when you have no EV.
All right.
For whatever reason, it really the engine is you hear it so much louder. But with EV, it's super quiet.
Yeah, like the road noises. Of course, we're on like a freshly paved surface, but
yeah, I've also heard there's a formula like as long as like in this mode of driving right now, the hybrid EV, where we're only using electric fuel or the battery,
right?
Unless if you keep it under 75% of RPMs or the engine power or whatever, you'll only use EV. If you go past the 75%, the gas kicks in,
right,
and you get to do more.
Yeah, if you need like more power.
Yeah.
Which I want to check out in a second.
You want to feel it?
Yeah. I think I'll turn around here. I don't really know where we are.
Hi-Ho Silver.
Nice.
What else? Heated seats.
I mean, this has a lot of features.
Yeah.
And then like the higher trim, do you get like a sunroof or no sunroof?
I don't know. I didn't even think about it. I mean, I just I had a experience in Carson with some guys that did like some real high pressure sales tactics on me, and luckily I got out of the situation. But that really triggered like my research and what I want to do. So I went into these guys in Gardena and I bulldogged them, and I just said, if you can't beat this CarMax price, I'm leaving. And then they matched it.
Wow.
And I was out of there in 10 minutes. Like, it was amazing.
That's great.
So it was a real coming of age story for me.
That's good. Well, yeah. And I feel like if anyone could bulldog as a salesman, it would be you, Ben.
Yeah, well, I'm a scary guy. Just ask Liz.
But I know you would do it in a nice way, but with great authority. Man, this is a nice rig.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, it's really just easy to drive. You kind of don't have to. You just really don't have to think about anything. The transmission is super smooth.
You know what's also cool about this? This is longer than my old Toyota Sienna. It's a long car.
Really?
Yeah.
And I didn't know you had a Sienna before.
Oh yeah, that was my grad school car. All right, red light. Boo.
Yeah, we're having see, now I'm going to use the regen paddles.
Mm-hmm.
That's a nice feature. Like, I wish my Kia had that feature. And even I guess the Tesla doesn't need it because you do the one pedal driving in there, but still, it's kind of fun, you know. And like the Chevy Volt had the paddles, or it had one paddle, I think.
The downshift?
Well, it was just regen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you could.
So how would you classify mine? Because it's definitely regen, but it's also, you can feel the engine change, right?
I mean, I don't really feel the engine change.
No?
No, it just feels like it increases the regenerative braking.
Okay.
Just my initial thought.
Well, yeah, you would know.
Now, if I hit the HV button, or if I hit the Sport button, I guess that'll put
Never tried it.
Oh my gosh, sorry, should.
No, don't do it. Do your thing.
All right, is it okay if I like give it a little?
Oh yeah, we need to.
She'll do. Okay, so she will get up and go. You kind of just have to. You have to wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pretty significant delay in getting the power down.
In sport mode?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like, okay, I got to shift, even though it's a CVT, and then it's like, got to turn on the engine.
Probably. Yeah.
So it was just kind of like, I felt the car do like 4 different things.
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, let's go. So that is something to consider. When I had my Kia, you know, that was also kind of the situation. Like, I had to kind of wait. You know, I really had to plan my maneuvers out, because it was like, if I floored it, it's like, engine on, transmission downshift. Okay, let's go. You know, which I think is just because there's so many different things happening. Kind of, you know, it has to figure out all the systems. Not to say that it's clumsy, but you kind of just have to plan for that. You know. I mean, do you ever trip the tires off the line or anything? I mean, like, if you're like in a hurry, you're just not in a hurry. You're just.
I didn't buy this car to be in a hurry. You know, I mean, it's just built for efficiency. That's just what that's what it is. I do think, though, I've always been happy. Like, when I finish my job at the Groundlings in Hollywood, I go all the way up Cahuenga and I get on the 101. Every time I get on there, you know, traffic's flying on the 101 at that time, and I'm always really happy, particularly when I have a full electric charge. And I don't know. Like, it's funny, you seem disappointed, but like I felt really, I don't know. I love how this thing moves with all EV.
Oh yeah.
When I need to, you know, go from 25 to 70 quickly.
Sure.
It's not a Tesla, obviously, but like, yeah, I wish you could feel that, like, to get on the highway.
No, I mean, like, once it finally decided to like move, it was pretty good. It just like, you know, it just took a while to make that decision. It's more of like what I was feeling. I'm going to try one more time. I know we've got some low fuel, so I don't want to like
that'll be all right.
Burn all the dinosaur juice at once. But man, there's just a lot of traffic today. It's also pretty cool. Like, we're in sport mode, so we've got these little red lights around the dash. I don't know if you can see that, Bennett.
Oh no.
See the red, aggressive red, like right over here. Isn't that cool? Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think I can give it the beans. See, there we go. Now, yeah. That's great. And man, that regen paddle's awesome. I'm hooked on it. It's something fun to play with. That's great, but it's got plenty of power to get out of the way. I think 226 horsepower or 212 horsepower. I said it earlier in the video. Whatever I meant it. What I said. I just can't remember. But, you know, I mean, 200 plus horsepower is plenty for a four-door sedan. Especially if you're using it as like a daily driver, commuter, you know, whatever. You really don't need that much power. I believe my car had right about 200 horsepower, maybe 202, something like that.
What's a Tesla have?
I think it's like 454.
What?
Something like that. Like, and 389 pound-feet of torque at 0 RPM. So it's pretty potent. But yeah, this is a really nice car, and I like this little like.
Oh, the volume there.
Yeah, all the little steering wheel controls.
And I know it's standard on most things, but particularly on the highway and in Los Angeles traffic, I love using the cruise control and setting it at the max follow distance.
Oh, so you've got adaptive cruise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a game changer,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's really nice.
Yeah, that's like,
particularly with the regen.
Dude, once you have that feature, it's like, that's another one where like I won't buy a car that doesn't have that. You know, that's just a must-have now. Sorry about that.
But you take that with lane assist and like, you know, it's, you know,
it takes a lot.
You can't take your hands off, but it's pretty independent.
It takes a lot of the headache out of your drive. Mm-hmm. It really does. The other thing that's great about this car is just like the suspension is nice and just soft, you know, it just feels, you could just sit in here all day. Seats are comfy, plenty of leg room and headroom, like I mentioned, and it handles bumps really well, you know, and I think that's super important. Do you want me to go back to the charging station? Or?
Yeah, actually, because I need to call them.
And so 6.6 kilowatts, you get, that doesn't cost much to fill up. What, probably like $2?
Yeah, 2 to 3.
Yeah,
depending on who's selling it.
Not bad. Is this a charge point station? Or?
No, charge point is the best, man. These are Electrify America, and I really have not been happy. It's a funny thing right now. It's bittersweet. Right now, they're giving away electric charges for free on mine, like on the one that my car uses. On the big ones, they're not free right now. But every time I do it, I have to call them for whatever, and I have to like reset the thing. So I don't know. Go charge point.
So which spot is it?
I'll probably do the other one.
Okay.
That way, someone else can use that.
Yeah, and the you know the story with Electrify America, right?
No.
So Electrify America, and somebody in the comments may roast me on this, but I think I'm right. Was basically like Volkswagen. It was their. You remember the whole Dieselgate thing?
No.
Yeah. So Volkswagen with their like TDI motors, they had some like emissions testing mode that the car would go into to pass emissions, and then it would go back to like heavily polluting. So they got busted, and Electrify America was one of their penalties. So they like were forced to do this.
That's a Volkswagen product?
Yes.
Or subsidiary?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And it was part of their punishment.
Do they have a European version too?
Probably.
Yeah.
But at least in the States, like, actually, I don't know.
It's a hell of a brand name for a German company.
Yeah, I know. But it was like they had to do that to make up for their wrongdoing.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is why like it's kind of not very good.
It's I mean, compared to ChargePoint, I mean, good Lord. Yeah.
And ChargePoint sucks too.
Really? I've had great experience with them.
Well, I think it just depends, like, and this is important, folks. It depends on the station, you know, because the deal with ChargePoint is most of them are like independently owned. So if the owner of that station doesn't really give a crap.
Like franchises, sort of?
Yeah. So they like buy the station, and I guess they get proceeds. I think it's kind of like a vending machine, honestly.
Wow.
But if the station breaks, like the owner has to fix it. So like in Orange, there's like the public parking there. There was one that was broken for like 2 months, and I called on it, and they're like, yeah, we've let the owner know, but you know, I guess
it's their responsibility. Interesting.
Yeah. So that's the deal there. And yeah, and I think like that's where like if you're gonna go like all EV, like that's where I think Tesla has it licked, because they've got their own proprietary network and they maintain it. You know,
They maintain it wholly.
yes.
I've seen them make deal. I've seen them at businesses before,
Yeah.
though. So do they have like partnerships with them probably, or do they just?
I don't know how it works,
Huh.
but yeah, but like they're like the supercharger network is pretty good.
Wow.
I'm sure someone in the comments will tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. Leave a comment. There's no such thing as a bad comment.
Let us learn.
Just be nice, you know. Right? I'm doing this for free, so you know, be kind. But yeah, so that's the deal. And again, like if you have a plug-in hybrid, you don't have to plug it in ever. You can just drive it, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Just put gas in it and get good gas mileage. But if you want better gas mileage, you plug it in.
Yeah, it was great. Before we moved, I would look at my fuel mileage and it would be like 199.
Yeah.
Which was the max that the reader would go, just because I wasn't ever using gas. But my new place doesn't have a charger, so got to get it.
Yeah. Well, this has been a lot of fun. Huge shout out to my man Benet.
Hey guys.
Do you have anything you want to plug, Benet?
I really want to see if you can hear the car sing. Like get out of it and leave it on.
Okay.
And see if you can hear it. Here, take the phone too.
All right, we're trying to hear this baby sing.
Let me drive it. Probably just too loud. You hear that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it has a little speaker that plays that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You've heard that before?
Yeah.
Who else does that?
Well, like most of the like hybrid electrics will do it now, because they don't make enough noise, you know, and they run over people.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what chord is that, David?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. The speaker's up here. It's in the bumper. A friend of mine just bought a Honda Insight, and he jokes that at low speed the boys choir sings. So and I think it's that sound.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's great.
As a musician, it's a nice thing to
It is fun. Oh, can you pop the power barn?
yeah. That means the lid.
Yeah.
Put the car on or off?
Doesn't matter. Leave it on. Why not? All right, let's take a look. There it is. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. Oh, this is super embarrassing, y'all. Oh, there it is. Oh, boy. Look at that. Okay, so there's the Earth Dreams. It's amazing they had enough room to fit all of this in. And there's still like space left over in the back. And look at that little battery. So cute. Wow, but that's super easy to get to, which is nice. Have you had to replace that yet?
No.
Sweet.
I got it with 18,000 miles on it.
Oh, so you've hardly put any miles on this car.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah, it would be neat to find where that speaker is, because it sounds like it's coming from like right here. You got your little air intake here. That's cool. Awesome.
I also got rear-ended about 10 months ago, and can I shut this?
Yeah.
Where's this go?
Yeah, right there.
Drop it.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Let me show you the back. I do remember when I got it thinking that the trunk was a little light. Like, it just, you
Oh yeah.
can just kind of hear that and feel that. Here, shut it. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was a little worried about, just how, because I know it's built for efficiency and being light and not wasting fuel. But I got rear-ended and really hard, and this was the only damage.
Wow.
Was right here and a little,
Sure.
little bit over there. But I had, when I bought it, I had like worries that it would just crumple.
Sure.
Because it felt so light, but it really stood up. It was a truck.
Yeah, it's a substantial car. It really is. Well, it weighs 4,000 pounds. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a heavy machine. Well, that was super fun. Thank you so much, Bennett.
Yeah.
We love your ride, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Drop us a comment below. Do you have one of these? What do you think of it? And what are your favorite things? What are your least favorite things? And also, what other cars do you want to see on the channel? I'd love to hear from you, or just say hi. I don't care. Leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.